What is up, guys? You are very welcome along to this Arsenal preview here on Anfield Agenda. Look, we had a great performance against Rangers midweek in the Champions League, but the calibre of opposition goes up a notch when we travel to the Emirates. It is a 4:30pm kickoff on Sunday. If you want to join me for a watch-along, you can do so as always over on our Twitch channel. The link to that is in the description, and I will be starting from 3:30 at the weekend, an hour long before kickoff. Give you guys plenty of chance to come in, share your thoughts on the 11 that Jurgen Klopp will go with on that day. And of course, I want to know right now your thoughts on my predicted 11, my score prediction, and the fixture as a whole. So look, where are we right now? Safe to say that we haven't been in the best of form so far this season, and if you contrast where we are to where Arsenal are right now, it's quite a way away. Look, I'm always confident when we play Arsenal, but if I don't start off this video by giving Mikel Arteta and those Arsenal players the credit that they deserve, I feel like I'd be just being disingenuous. They've had a cracking start to the season, good morale boosting victory in the North London derby as well, and they currently sit atop of the Premier League table. Will they last the course? Will they stay apace with Manchester City for the entire season? I have my doubts about that. But that doesn't really play into anything here because they do deserve credit, Arsenal. They're much improved under Arteta. But my question is, have they got the stomach for the battle? I guess in the North London derby they did, but against us, I'm confident we'll get something from the game. What that something is, that remains to be seen. I'm not going to go and predict Liverpool to go to the Emirates and beat them by 3 or 4 goals. That would be absolute madness. Mikel Arteta has brought some great players in. Zinchenko, I think, is a wonderful signing. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus. Odegaard has taken to the Premier League like we'd all thought that he would when he was being linked with Liverpool, and he's even moved on a couple of levels. Obviously, he had some spells at Sociedad. He was a Real Madrid player, but Arsenal have done very well to get him involved there. And you add into that Martinelli on the left-hand side of attack, Saka on the right-hand side of attack. We could have a headache on Sunday. But I hope we stick to the 4-2-3-1 formation. I really do, because yes, the level of opposition against Rangers was not what we'll expect or will face on Sunday, but for me, I've seen enough in that improvement to go and say to myself, yeah, I think that's the way we should move forward. I understand that people are going to say, hang on, if you've got 4 players attacking, that kind of limits your ability to defend and counters and stuff. For me, having 6 defensive players and a goalkeeper in the team, I think that more than balances itself out. And I liked the 2 holding midfield players. I liked the way they worked off each other. I thought Thiago was magnificent. Obviously Diaz magnificent as well. And who am I going to drop? I guess that's the big question, because it's very difficult to make changes to a team that have done really well. So with that in mind, let's start off with a score prediction first. As you can see, I'm going for a 2-2 draw. I think one of the very few times I'm not going to predict Liverpool to win. Can we win? Absolutely. But will we win? Look, the proof of the pudding's going to be in the eating, and I'm hoping that we at least don't concede the first goal, because too many times this season, too many times last season, we have just conceded the first goal and left ourselves a mountain to climb. Don't know about you guys, but for me, the biggest frustration of that Brighton game was not that we conceded 2 goals early doors, because Brighton played really well. Yes, we were soft defensively, and yes, there were errors we could have stopped from or stopped the Brighton goals from coming, but ultimately we did the hard yards and we fought back from 2-0 down to lead 3-2. So to concede that goal at the end, that's what annoyed me most about that performance. Jurgen Klopp keeps talking about wanting a response. Well, time to put that response right in the league, and if you can go to the league leaders and pick up something, whether a win or a point, I want to win, I take a point, then that's going to make a statement and let people know that we still have the goods. So look, let's move on and look at the centre-backs and the goalkeeper. No real surprises here. I've gone exactly with the way Jurgen Klopp went against Rangers. I know Kanade is back and available. I just don't think he'd be ready to start just yet. He was, a couple of months out with that injury. Maybe we'll see him come on towards the end of this game, and perhaps he starts up in Glasgow against Rangers in the Champions League next week. But as of right now, I'm going to go with Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip, even though I do want to see a little bit more from Virg. Yes, he was good against Rangers, but as I said, calibre of opposition goes up a notch now. And if we can keep a clean sheet at Arsenal, be very happy. I don't expect us to, but I'd be very happy if we did. Now to the fullbacks. Again, not really any surprises here. We're still waiting for Andy Robertson to get back up to full match fitness. So for me, Costa starts on the left-hand side and Trent on the right-hand side. Look, I'm not naive enough to not understand that they're going to target Trent. It happens in every game that we play. And yes, sometimes Trent can be caught out of position, but we do have enough players in there now that we should be able to drift in behind, provide him some cover. Or maybe Jurgen Klopp looks and maybe I don't want to say doesn't tell Trent to get forward as much as he does, but maybe we can find a way to just balance it out a little bit and use those two holding midfielders to maybe provide Trent with a bit of a licence to get forward at times down that right hand side. But ultimately, he won't be judged on his offensive performance. He's going to be judged on his defensive performance, and I'd be lying if I said he doesn't need to improve that. I'm not saying he's as bad as some people are making out, but there definitely is areas that he can improve on. Moving into the midfield now, what have I gone with here? Well, I've gone with exactly how we played against Rangers during the week because I thought it worked really well. So Thiago and Hendo for me in the two holding midfield positions. And look, I'm eating somewhat of humble pie here because I said in a video maybe last week, the week before, that I don't want to see Henderson playing again. But that was in that midfield trio. I didn't like him in there. He was supposed to be able to provide extra defensive cover to Trent. Wasn't really doing that. But what we did see against Rangers was those two, Thiago and Henderson, working really well in tandem together. And Jurgen Klopp may well bring Fabinho back in. But you know what? Hand on heart, I have to say Fabinho hasn't been pulling up any trees this season either. So for me, let's make the best of it and go with Henderson and Thiago in that dual midfield holding position. I thought Thiago was putting himself about really well, wasn't afraid to get stuck in, and I thought Henderson did something simple at times, but if you look at the game, he did also play some really good forward passes, one over the top to Darwin that he was unlucky not to score from. So that's what I'd go with there in the two holding positions. And then just in behind the striker, Diogo Jota. Look, I understand this feels incredibly disrespectful or incredibly unfair to Bobby, who's had a great start to the season, but Diogo Jota for me was a pest in that Rangers game, and we all know he loves a goal against Arsenal, as does Bobby to be fair, but I like to keep a winning team, so I'm going to go with Diogo Jota in the hole behind the strikers. You probably see where I'm going with this. Left side, obviously Lucho Diaz. Right side, Mohamed Salah. Diaz has been one of the few shining lights for me this season. I think he's been absolutely fantastic in the work that he's done. If he can work on his finishing a little bit, we could have as close to a Sadio Mane replacement as we could have hoped for. Yes, maybe he doesn't provide the same defensive nous from the front that Sadio does, but I'm sure he will get up to speed with that over time, and the tutelage from Jurgen Klopp, Pep Linders and the rest of the coaches. On the right hand side, our talisman scored a penalty against Rangers, but you know, it didn't escape people's notice that he didn't score from open play, and we hope Mo can get off to a good start this month and bang in a goal or two against Arsenal, again from open play. But look, I don't care if we score from open play, free kicks, corners. It's all about putting the points on the board. And for me, Mohamed Salah is doing everything but scoring. So no problems with me with Mo, and I think he absolutely deserves to start on the right. And then up top, probably the most hated on man in the Premier League this season, the most unfairly judged person for me in the Premier League. I think that Darwin Nunez showed everything I would have wanted to see against Rangers. He ran the channels really well. He provided holes for the other players to run into by sometimes dropping out left or right. And he also had everything but a goal in the game. He forced Alan McGregor into umpteen great saves. And I thought he was a pest again. I keep using the word pest because I think it's a fair word to use for our forwards. And I love that attacking quartet of Jota, Salah, Diaz and Nunez. Yes, it might be harsh on Harvey Elliott. Yes, it might be harsh on Bobby Firmino. But I just feel like these players will have a little bit of confidence after that Rangers game, and we should be looking to inspire confidence now. That's why I keep the same team. So that's what I have to say in it. Now it is over to you guys. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are, what your score predictions are, and how confident or lack of confidence you have going to this game at the Emirates on Sunday. I will talk to you soon. Much love. Oh, do keep an eye out tomorrow actually, because I'm recording with Lee Gunner. Usually don't do the opposition previews, but I haven't caught up with Lee in a while, so he said why not do one together. So I'll be recording that tomorrow, and that'll be posted right up here on YouTube as well. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.